everyone, this is Mate Arlene reporting, and welcome back to another dev demo. This time I'm doing two more maps. The first one is called Durcha, which is my submission for the Doomworld Omega project 2018. Cyfesta has not come back to Doomworld, and I'm not sure what's going on because the last post he made was in September. And we haven't heard from this person since then, and it was supposed to be compiled by the end of the year last year. So, pretty much what's going to happen is we're just going to compile it on our own and go from there. So, but this is my submission. I figure I might as well just do a demo of it. I was going to do a demo for my Joy Mapping 6 map, but I don't think I will because it'll just be easier for me to play it through Joy Mapping 6. You know, by actually playing Joy Mapping, because it's got a lot of resources that's included in Joy Mapping, so... Anywho, let's go ahead and get started. So this was based on this. I draw inspiration from like the dumbest things. It's ridiculous. So this actually has a little bit of basis on Lord of the Dance's Warriors timeline, and arc, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how necessarily to describe it. If anybody's ever seen Lord of the Dance, I know I talk about it a lot. It is really an experience that touched me very much as a child, and I think when it came back into my life recently, it like totally transformed like my way of thinking about things. So, anyway. This first area, I just wanted to build something that felt really big, but at the same time was reachable. This does use some decorations from Realm 667, and this uses zoom text from Jimmy. Thank you to Jimmy. I wanted to go with the music track that had sort of these really tough drum beats, this really throbbing drum beat. It felt really just natural for me to have it in this map. So I know I've got a few alignment things. I think because I was trying to move around some of the architecture in here. I used Doom 64 coloring on many of the doors in quite a few areas, actually. Did I ever... No, okay, no, that looks fine. So there's the blue key. That was the goal. I was gonna eventually replace that with like a purple key or something like that, but I just never got around to it. Again, some more Realm 667 stuff. I wanted to do something that felt simple, but also had like sort of these tech elements to it. And then this is probably one of my favorite rooms of the map. Right here, this little area where you've got all of this, all these height areas and skulls and things like that, and this fountain. I don't know, something about doing this felt really natural to me. I drew my lines, and I just love the idea of using these sort of big symmetrical staircases. Because that's actually how the stage was sort of built, it was built sort of symmetrically, and you had a lot of height, you know, areas that had height to them, in multiple levels. And there was purple, and there was a lot of really fun and bright colors, so I wanted to sort of incorporate these into the map. So, I kind of used a different purple, probably should have, didn't think about it. Like, I wanted to make this gothic, but also a little bit modern with the lights. So yeah, all the red and purple, it felt natural for me to use it. The thing is about Doom that's so great is that you can combine gothic textures, you know, sort of old style gothic textures, and then put in, you know, lights that look very modern, and get away with it. So this door right here, I'm not going to go to this one quite yet, because there's another room I'd rather go to first. This is arguably the hardest room of the map, right here. I didn't want to pick up that stim pack. thought the cacodemons would be a little further back, and I could have placed them a little further back so that they would surprise you when you came up the staircases there, but finally I just decided, I was just like, well, I might as well just do this way. So many of the things I did, I sort of did on accident. Some of these things I didn't actually really mean to do. And a lot of it comes from just having this constant need to just make everything really cool looking. Like, just add all these different, you know, details in. It's getting to that point where I feel a little bit more comfortable messing around with color and messing around with detailing. Because I sort of have an idea of how I want it to look. I should have fixed that right there, but... And don't worry, I still put plenty of switches in my map. That's become, I think that's one of the things that I've sort of used to differentiate my maps from other people's, is using switches and puzzle mechanisms to open doors. I usually like to put in double doors that you've got to do switches for and things like that. It's become kind of a habitual thing. I don't know why. I just like to make people look for things in maps. I don't like just giving them the answers to what they want. I'll go in that door in just a minute. I got a couple more kills up in here that I want to take care of first. I had to put in a lot of ammo, like way more ammo than I thought I would even need. It was surprising how many enemies I actually ended up putting into this map. I put 109 enemies in this map. That's a lot. That's about as, you know, not for me to, like, kill, because I've killed way more than that in one map. But it's amazing, because the space feels cramped. So anyway. Because it feels like such a small and cramped space, but maybe it isn't. Maybe I've made this a lot bigger than I was actually thinking it was. Maybe not. I don't know. The auto map actually looks relatively neat on this. Normally my auto maps look awfully sloppy. At least I think so. So there's one line drift trigger that will open this up, and then it'll open up a teleporter that will allow me to hit a switch. There's a script that I should have written for the switch that I didn't think about, because one lowers the pillar that holds the blue key a little bit more. So I wonder if, like, if you strafe ran. I don't know if you can quite strafe run. I bet you probably could if you tried. But I'm not gonna test it. I don't, because I disabled, like, jumping and crouching, so you can't really do that. So, Okay. I had to work several ways of doing this area here. Somebody asked me if I had built this sector in stair builder. I didn't. I just really suck at making curved hallways. That was the thing I decided would probably be a good idea for some reason. This room was a BS room. I didn't really do a whole lot with this purposely, because I was just like, I needed to find a way to get to that second switch. I didn't really have a very solid plan, so I was just like, well, oh god, okay. I'm starting to lag a little bit. You do eventually have enough ammo to kill these guys. I also didn't put glow on these steps either. I put on glow on probably all the steps except these ones. Don't ask me why that's a thing, but it is. This is a difficult room, and I purposely wanted to make sure that it didn't have... Like, I wanted to make sure people thought about what they were doing when they, went into the map. Okay, I'm just gonna grab whatever health I can at this point. I just like the aesthetic schematics of Lord of the Dance. I really did. All the color and costume design. Hello, I forgot that you two were here. Ugh. So the other teleporter will be open. Don't teleport, don't teleport. Oh, he doesn't teleport. I wonder if it made it a player-only teleport. My guess is yes. It would have been an interesting wrinkle to put in a teleport for... That would have worked on monsters, but I guess I didn't really think on that too hard. Okay, I don't think this one I've been in yet. Sorry, I don't know why my software keeps like randomly lagging. It's really frustrating. So... This is pulled straight from the Dance Nightmare, where Flatley is just blindsided by these two guys who just come out of nowhere to grab him. And just encircle him. All the warriors encircle him. I had a lot of fun making this map because it was just a way for me to just experiment with different... Okay, I'm not gonna have enough ammo to kill this guy. I'm gonna exit. Didn't add any secrets to this map either, which is surprising. I usually try to include at least one, but I didn't even think about it, so... Alright, so that is Durcha, and I will show you guys my other one, which is called Spectre. This is supposed to be a vanilla map. Of course, I'll play it in GZ Doom because I'm lazy. And I also don't have, like, Chocolate Doom or anything, but, anyway, yeah, I'll see y'all in a bit. Alright, so I'm back. So this is called Spectre. This was made as a result of a Doomworld thread that, basically, somebody made a room and then asked people to finish the map. So what my take on this was, okay, it kind of looks like a tech base that like was really haunted, because when I just looked at the empty room that was there already, I liked the idea of having like this sort of techie area that hell has sort of taken over, and it feels very empty until you actually get into it. So this was my idea of just sort of making sort of, I guess, like a haunted sort of tech base, I guess. It's not a novel concept, but I just thought it was a really fun way to mess with vanilla texturing and vanilla events. The vanilla limits are extremely challenging for somebody who's messed with UDMF their entire life, basically, or, you know, for a year at least doing maps. So somebody, and actually Pegleg was very kind and said that it's, you know, he was like, oh, it's really great that you actually went into vanilla when pretty much all you do is UDMF work. And I'm like, I'm willing to try out anything because I think it makes you a better mapper and also a better player, because it makes you think about what sort of limits that you have and then working with what that, you know, what those limits are. Because originally what had happened was I misunderstood and thought this was like a boom format map, because it's not, there's not very many vanilla maps hanging around, you know, being made anymore. So I had originally made this in boom format, and I thought boom was limiting. I got into vanilla, and I'm just like, oh my god, how is this gonna work? But I tested everything, all of the like switches and bells and whistles. You can progress through this with no monsters, because obviously there's no scripting attached to the monsters or anything. But everything works, so it should be fine. I didn't really actually play this map with the monsters in it, so as far as its balance, I have no idea how this is gonna play, so I may not be able to beat it properly. I also didn't replace the music because I'm lazy. I'm playing this in GZ Doom, so here's the two guards at the exit. 71 monsters in this. That's actually quite a bit for what I'm used to. Pretty much set all the monsters to ambush. So this is the area that was started. I did mess with this a little bit. I think it had, I don't know if it was made with Startan textures. I believe it was, or maybe Star Gray. But this area pretty much is original. I messed with it a little bit, added some effects, messed with this just a tiny bit. So this is an area that's going to need a blue key to get into. I was so mad because I had no idea, and you'll see like the textures aren't aligned properly here. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll notice that I made a post about lower and upper unpegged textures. I had no idea what they were until I started doing vanilla formatting, because I always thought that you had to pretty much align them, like, because the upper and lower would, if you go to align them horizontally, you know, or vertically, they would move on, you know, they would both move, you know, synchronously, so you couldn't really align them properly. Finally, I just was like, there's got to be a way. So I messed around with the upper and lower unpegged. I checked those boxes, and I was like, oh my god, you can align them separately. You just had to do an extra step. I was so mad that I didn't, like, figure that out until, like, a week ago. So anyway, that was my fun. Okay. So, and also part of the reason why this is called Spectre is because there's a lot of specters in here. I'm already down to 50 health. How the fuck? Oh shit. I thought I'd set you to ambush. Well, shit. Maybe I unset some from ambush, and now they're gonna open up the doors and make my life miserable. Okay, well that's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. So this room in a minute, right now, looks pretty plain. Again, I just borrowed the stairs that were in that first area right here. I borrowed those and then just lowered them a little bit. And just set them that way. I like the idea of doing this bloody door. Like, you know how we have, you know, sort of broken doors and things like that? I wanted to do one of those, so this is what I did with that. One of these classic sort of texturing moves that I could have made a secret out of one of these, I'm willing to bet, but I just didn't think about it. So, and here's the Grey Tall hallway. I'd always wanted to use Grey Tall after playing 50 Shades of Grey Tall. I'm just like, I'm gonna use Grey Tall one day and I'm gonna have fun with it. This is like such an awkward hallway. I don't know why I made it this way. And then it gets like impossible to avoid your stuff unless you're careful. Alright. So y'all ready to see some shit? Yep, here we go. Okay. I think I balanced this pretty much right. I've kind of figured out how to balance things from doing so many other maps this year. It's been a very, it's been a good experience doing, mapping. I've learned how to balance things and what it takes to balance things and how difficult it is to balance things. Balancing things for different difficulties is hard. So yeah, but the whole idea of this was to make, just sort of these hellish areas that are revealed, like the computer is corrupted or the tech is corrupted. That was sort of the idea of it. So the fact that I could do something like that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I wanted to find a way to make a hallway that went from 128 or 256, whatever that length is, to 64 where this door is. And probably the best way I found to do that was just to do these sort of cordoned off, you know, these sort of chunky little areas. And I just like the, oh damn, I missed a texture over there. And over there. Oops. Well, oh well. I didn't realize I missed the Startan over there. Oh man. I was gonna try to make a secret out of this, but I realized you can't really crouch in vanilla, so it wouldn't have worked. I'd like to think I made that sector flickering on purpose. I didn't, but it's staying now that it exists. Yeah, this is where I found out the whole thing about upper and lower unpegged textures. I had no idea up until this point how they worked. So I built this room after I built this door. Well, I mean, I didn't build this door. This door was actually there, but that switch, you can see like it's not aligned really well. So I'm so mad, and I didn't even. I'm kind of mad I didn't fix it. I actually balanced the combat pretty well on this. I'm pretty surprised at myself. Because normally I'm terrible at balancing, but. And then I just love the idea of using all these big tech wall textures. And using the alternates. This felt very E1-ish to me, so. Or maybe E2-ish, I don't know. Ow, face. I did include some health in here, yeah. Phew! Oh, damn. I got stuck. It's a pretty tight area to move around in, so... And I also didn't make this ceiling tall enough, I realized. There's enough things blocking the way that you should be able to do this without too much issue. So there were 5 revenants up there. Okay. That's before I even got to the switch that I need to hit. Yeah, you can't see as many details in this room here. But I figured I could make something that looked at least semi-cool back here. And I wanted to do the pillars and stuff too. Which is why this looks like this, because I realized the pillars would keep going into the ceiling if I left it like it was, so. Because I'm literally the first person to complain about those stepped ceilings, but now I realize why they're there, why they exist, and actually they're pretty cool. Like, I can't get mad. So now these bars are raised. And now we're gonna go down this way. So be careful when you go down this hallway. I don't know why I didn't make this section of it do the same thing. I end up doing more of these monitors. Oh, one more. I don't know if I grabbed everything that was in that room earlier. Okay. Oh god. Nope. 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 Ah, damn. If you don't suck like me, you'll probably get through this map just fine. I do admit I balanced a little bit more sparsely than what I would normally do. Okay. That's okay, because we're almost at the end anyway. So this monitor lowers that area, that monitor over there. That opens that switch. All except for that one pillar, and then the exit. And I didn't add any secrets on this map either. But it was a lot of fun to make this map because I felt like it was just definitely a return to the roots of Doom. Like, it just felt very fun to make a map that was so simplistic. It's really good to get back into simple because when you try to make things too big and too complicated, it ends up really... You lose focus on what you really want, which is why I tend to like these smaller maps, because they are laser focused on what your goal is for the map. So bigger maps, even though, I mean, and there are exceptions to that rule, like UAC, Invasion, Supply Depot. Supply Depot, that was an excellent map. It was long, but it was laser focused. So was Man on the Moon. So yeah, yeah. I had a lot of fun making these maps. I have fun making maps because I'm not awesome at art and things like that. I suck at drawing. So, like, I see all my friends and they're like got these awesome drawings and I'm just like, I don't know. And I'm still not awesome at making Doom maps. I'm learning some things. I've learned some really awesome things in the past year making maps. So, it's been a very enjoyable experience for me doing these things. So yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Until then, this is me, Arlene. Over and out.